Coming into school, I saw that the football team, they went from being 0-11 and they're starting to really gain a lot of momentum. This is around 2010. And they started using the hashtag Revenge of the Nerds. And that sort of meant that, hey, a lot of you guys don't expect much of us because we're a nerdy school. We're Stanford University. You think that you can just beat us because we're not focused on sports. Well, guess what? We are going to show you that we can do both at a high level. So yeah, that was the start of Nerd City. And then by my senior year, it really caught fire. The hashtag was out there and it became Nerd Nation. So anyone that was affiliated to Stanford University sort of claimed Nerd Nation, and it was just one of those things where we're just taking over. My favorite memories being at Stanford, it's honestly just the people, the relationships you build. We've had so much fun reconnecting in the different avenues of life. But it's just the people that I think about. You know, my brothers that played on the Stanford men's team, I get to see them blossom in the NBA. I have friends that are running companies, friends that are like social media influencers that are here now. So I would just say my favorite times are just when we had this amazing diverse group of people, students, athletes, and the like, all together, just trying to push boundaries and have fun and discover themselves. When you come to Stanford and you choose to play under Coach Tara, Hall of Famer, obviously, it's a challenge because she demands perfection. But by the time I've graduated, I've realized that I've become a product of her. I'm a perfectionist in everything that I do, and that's all due to Coach Tara. And it's hard when you're young and you want to have control of things and you want things done your way to really surrender yourself to the team, but she teaches you how to not only be a good teammate, but be a good teammate for life. If there's a dinner table and we had one extra seat, my dad gets to pick whoever he wants. It's Coach Tara. She's built a relationship that we consider each other family. Like, I know that if I'm struggling with something, it does not matter what it is. If I need advice, I'll call Coach Tara and she'll give me the best advice possible. So Coach Tara is more than a coach. She's a mentor. She's, I don't want to say like an auntie, like a big sis, like, no way. But she's one of those people that I feel absolutely lucky to have in my life, and I feel like that's an advantage for me. Just work hard, have fun, represent. I think you guys are more prepared than any other team because you have Coach Tara, and I think you guys are prepared because you guys attack the game the right way.
Thanks, Chiney.
Hey.
All right, thanks, Chiney.
Stanford absolutely prepared me for the WNBA. I think there was no better test for me than going through a career here at Stanford because you play the best of the best and you're challenged academically, so you're dealing with stuff that most people probably aren't dealing with, like renowned professors and students that are extremely competitive, and then you have to not lose your competitive edge in your fields of play. For me, it's on the court. I learned to be efficient at Stanford because I knew if I got the ball, it'd have to be with a purpose and I'd have to finish with a purpose, and I think that's that perfectionism in Coach Tara, Kate, Tempe, and Amy, and that tree, just staying in the back of your head and realizing that every possession has value. How are you gonna learn from this possession? How are you gonna lead? Those are all qualities that I learned while I was at Stanford. I had two very special women helping advise my career both on and off the court. Obviously on the court, Coach Tara, and off the court, Dr. Condoleezza Rice. And so I fell in love with the international relations major, and she is an advisor under that major, and I was lucky to have her as my mentor during my process of, completing my graduate. So right now I'm a ESPN NBA analyst, and it was a long journey for me to become a TV analyst. I never planned for this. I mean, obviously you know my major. I did not do this. I fell into it, and basically what happened was I got drafted by the Connecticut Sun, had an amazing rookie year, went overseas and got injured. And I got injured twice, 2 different years overseas, and I learned that, hey, maybe playing full-time is not for me, not for my body, not the best thing for me. And then eventually I got a full-time role, per se, working for SportsCenter Africa, which was perfect for me because I got to learn how to anchor SportsCenter, but not for American viewers, but for African viewers. It taught me a lot of skill sets, and from there it matured into a full-time role as an NBA analyst for ESPN and different platforms for their shows. So it sort of was one thing turning into the other, and I never really sought it out, but I'm just really glad to, show that women of color, women with diverse backgrounds, of immigrants, educated nerds, WNBA players, professional athletes, we all belong in this same space. Yes, I'm a WNBA player, but I know basketball, so that should allow me to talk about the NBA, and I'm just glad to be a living embodiment of that, and hopefully the young girls watching think they can do that too.